What's up, YouTube, Facebook? It's Econ Rebel back. We're live again. Good to see everyone. So, I think yesterday... What happened yesterday? No idea what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I wasn't around. You would have missed me. I do apologise. Make it up for you today. First of all, I will draw a winner from the comments. And also, I'll give away some Bitcoin Cash on the live tonight. So, I'll do both. Just to make up for that. Alright, so I'll tell you what. First we're going to do is we will find... Let's find a winner from... previous video. Let's have a look. Yeah, we should be able to do that. So I'm going to give away $10 worth of Bitcoin Cash to a comment. Alright, so yesterday's, or the day before that, was a Litecoin fork or LitePay causing big gains. This is when Litecoin was doing well. Let's pick a winner from the comments from that one. Mikhail, well done. Extra awesome today, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that and congratulations. I'm just going to send you that. So when you receive that, just let me know and I will... yeah, just put in the comments that you received it. That'd be great. Alright, so I'm going to send you some Bitcoin Cash right now. So congratulations again. I'll send that off. So you should get that soon. And also, I'll be giving away another $10 worth of Bitcoin Cash on the live streams tonight. So, we've got a few people on already. G'day, Jason, Shahel, how you doing? Boss Sounds, Kagas, how you doing? Good to see you guys around. Sorry I missed you yesterday. I got carried away with what I was doing and didn't happen. So, I'm just trying to make up for it tonight. Alright, so we're going to cover a few things. So we've got the winner out of the way. That's good. Let's have a look. So you guys are on live. Feel free to ask some questions. And I will do my best to answer them while you've got me here tonight. That'd be awesome. Boss Sounds has already said, do you mine crypto myself? No, I don't currently mine crypto. I know a few, some good friends of mine mine crypto. And they do really well out of it. Now, they have been mining for some time. It wasn't something new. The space has changed. Mining is still profitable. But, you know, it did help. Well, it did help that if you'd been in it a little bit beforehand. And also with mining, normally you pay, like, for example, with Genesis mining, you pay for a contract like 2 years in advance. And then it does take a while before you get your returns. Now you're relying on that price to go up as well. So that's the main thing about it. So you're mining, but also if the price does, you know, go up 2x, 3x. Let's say you did it last year when it was like, you know, when it was $1,000 or $2,000. Okay, when it was at that price, and then going up to, you know, 10k and 11, 12k, 11k where it is right now. You're getting more returns for that, okay, and that is the benefit of it. But it is, you know, a short-term space thing. It's all right if you want guaranteed money, or pretty much guaranteed money. But there is other ways to make money in the market. So I don't do mining myself. Alrighty, so just thought I'd let you know about that. G'day Mento, g'day Bimmer, how you doing? Alright, so let's get into what's happening with the market. We're now a little Brave. Just using this Brave app I've talked about before, which is associated with the BAT token. So this Brave app's pretty good. It gets rid of the advertising, which is pretty cool. And so we get another try out. So at the moment, it looks like terrible for the whole market. It's all red. But when I got up this morning, it was all green. And now it's come around with only very minor. We're down, I would say, on average, maybe 5% across the top 10 there. So Bitcoin is at about 10.5k, Ethereum at 922, Ripple at $1.12, Bitcoin Cash just under 1500, and Litecoin at 218, Cardano at 38 cents, Stellar at 40 $1.05, and Neo at 127, and EOS $9.50, and IOTA $2.07. So it's actually been pretty good. Bitcoin, I believe, broke about 11k, and that's come back a little bit. So this is good. So we've had a good few days run. You know, it just wasn't too long ago when we were at like 5.5, 6k, and now we're back up hitting 11k. And we'll have a quick look at a chart. I'll bring up a chart. I always like looking at a chart. So let's bring up Coinergy, one of my favorite little platforms for charts. Pretty good. So let's have a look. We'll go to our favorites. And actually, we'll just go GDAX. GDAX, BTC USD. All right, so we'll switch out to daily. Just to see what you're used to. Okay, so this is our big run up during Christmas, and then as you see, we've had that big pullback. And this is where we went down to, you know, 5.5, 6k. On this chart, we're looking about 6k. On other exchanges, about 5.5. And then basically, we've had this a reversal from here, and we've had pretty strong days. We've had probably 4 days of gains. We'll see what happens at the end of this bar here, but we've had pretty strong gains right back up to 11k, where it's come down a little bit here. So I think you can see that there. Yeah, so basically, you know, this is a good sign. And even if like, depending on what you're looking at, you might be, I don't know how much you guys do you know, technical analysis or anything like that, but if you just look at this in terms of trends, okay, you can see how it's definitely broken out on that trend. If you look in terms of fib retracements, I think we'll put some fibs on there. If you have a look at this one, I'll talk about this. So I think we're down around, yeah, this would have been where we're at. So what you do with fibs, these are fib retracements. You go from basically the low to the high for any time frame, okay, and this represents the retracement from that level. So you can see we nearly went down. We went basically nearly right back to where we were from this period of time. This is back in November, way past the 78%. So basically, it tested like this 30. We hit 38, failed, went down to 50. Well, actually, it went right down to 61. Failed at 50, went back up, and then continued its down, hitting 78s and all the way back down. And it got to this point here where, and this was a, you know, a real support area. And the reason we know that is because this area here is the last basically support. This is like, you call it a bounce, you call it a base, call it a support level. But this area around 5.5, 6, and not only that, I think I talked in one of the live streams I mentioned about it was just under, I think it was about 6,000 was about the price for mining, where actually at the cost price for mining Bitcoin. So everything above 6,000 they're making profit on, and everything below that they're basically not making profit on. Okay, and so basically that was like a key point. We've moved from that point now and going back up. So this is a good sign. We still might get some retracement back here. This is pretty normal. Like, you'll have some strong, and then you'll get retracement level back, and it'll continue on, or it might just go into sideways movement. All right, so at the moment we are, what's the date today? Have a look. 18th of Feb. So probably another week or so, maybe another 10 days for February to finish, and then we'll be into March. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But if you're in this March area, we're either going to be in this sort of area, or if it continues to be up, it's going to be in this area up here. So this is, this is good. And if you've had a look at your portfolios or the prices, it's been great. So we'll quickly go back to this here. Let's have a look at some news. There were some articles I found. First one was Bitcoin Foundation. This guy here called Lou Klassen. is saying Bitcoin will hit 40,000 by the end of this year. And he says, while 90% of all other currency projects will fail. Yeah, I don't know. That's like just crazy that this here saying that all these other projects will fail. I don't know that. I don't see that. I don't see all these other projects fail. They may maybe not do as well as Bitcoin, but unless it's a BitConnect or something where it goes to zero, I don't know about that. But yeah, look, he was talking at this conference and saying about the investors taking too much risk in the project, which turn out to be scams, and then they cite BitConnect and 5 other ICOs which were scams. And honestly, 5 ICOs out of how many ICOs? Look, sure, there's probably going to be an improvement in the ICO. There's probably going to be people that need to come to the market with a prototype. It sort of reminds me of there was a website. What was it called? I'll think of it in a second. The website where basically, I can't think of it at the moment. But basically, you would Kickstarter. That's it, Kickstarter. When it started out, that was pretty wild, right? It was new. People were throwing so much money at it, and then they had some major failed projects on these Kickstarter projects. And then what happened is they started getting a bit like it started putting rules in place and making people more responsible, these projects more responsible, and getting to a prototype stage and stuff like that. And now it's way better experience. So instead of like before when you just part with your money to support a project and then nothing would come of it, and the money was gone or whatever. At least now with a lot of the Kickstarter projects, they're already done all the hard yards and getting the project to a prototype, and then it's going to they basically need that money to then develop it, and they're a lot further along. I think this is what's going to happen with ICOs. I think they're going to come with a product to the market that is going to be way better than what they've done before. Before, they just come with an idea, but I think they'll be coming with actual products to the market. And there's been a few ICOs that already have products and then want to use that money to develop and basically develop their product further. So yeah, it's an interesting idea. I think basically what they're saying here about the 90% of other cryptocurrency projects have failed, I don't really agree with that. Look, every project tries to solve a different thing, but this is a pretty crazy to say that. I agree with 40,000, probably even more for Bitcoin this year, but I'm not sure about 90% will fail for the altcoins. So next one, Durov Brothers. So you may have heard about Telegram. Everyone uses Telegram, right? They've already raised $850 million, okay, and they're lodging it with the SEC in the US, and basically it's for the development of the Ton blockchain and Telegram Messenger. So that's a lot of money, and they've basically filed that, and they're also planning on doing their ICO. I don't know if they've got a date for that at the moment, but basically it's obviously going ahead. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But that's definitely going to be big. These guys are, onto it. They know what they're doing. They've already raised, that's a lot of money, 850 million. I mean, I think EOS was like close to $1 billion over 12 months, and he's already raised 850 million. So you look, even when this does go public, they might maybe another 5x that. Who knows? Maybe they raise another 5 or 10. Maybe it would be 5 billion or something. It's massive. It'd be like if Facebook turned around and did something like that. People would get in on it because they've got all the development team and they know what they're doing with business. So this is a good thing, and I'll keep you updated about that. Okay, another one was total crypto market cap back over 500 billion. Let's see where it is right now. Where it was over 500, just under 481 right now. So it's good to see that back up there. And yeah, basically Bitcoin has been above that 10K mark. Now, have you noticed how the news? Do you remember when Bitcoin initially made that 10K, and all the memes that came out about the 10K and all this sort of stuff? And now we're back at that 10K and we're not seeing any of that sort of stuff. You know, so there's a different feel about it this time. It's like quietly just going back up and there's nothing, no one's really talking about it. And, you know, and then when it hits 14, 15K and then it might even hit 20K and it might get a mention in the news for breaking new highs again. So it'll be interesting because the people that, you know, got out at 5.5 or 6K and then said it was a scam, will then be hearing about on the news breaking 20s again and, you know, going to 25, 30. And they'll think, oh, I need to get in again. Yeah, don't do that. All right. So that was good. I didn't see too much on investing.com. There wasn't too much about that. Nothing new there. And yeah, Bitcoin rising above 11K and trading down to, I think it's about 10.4 right now. So that was good. So there's probably 3 things I want to talk about. Pay attention to these. Coinbase. So you've heard about Coinbase, right? Because you can buy and sell coins. And they're pretty big. I think we reported like 10 million users. I think I talked about that the other day. Huge. Well, they've come out, and I have mentioned this before. I've signed up with this. This is called Coinbase Commerce. And they've got a little demo here. I'll quickly show you the demo. So this is applicable to if you run e-commerce sites. So it says, you know, put your name and email address in there, right? Okay, so we'll press continue. Select currency, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin. Let's go with Bitcoin Cash. To pay, send Bitcoin Cash to the address below. So the Bitcoin Cash is here. You can just click copy to keep copy that, and then you can paste it and send it. Now you can put any amount. There's actually no amount on this because we're doing a donation. You can also do it as there'll actually be an amount there if you're selling something. Also, it gives 15 minutes to wait. If you want to scan the code, you just click that and it brings up the scan code. And then once you actually make this payment, this will then change to a paid window. So this is like literally, it reminds me of Stripe, just how easy it is to use this. And I've already set this up. I've tested it. This is what the dashboard looks like. And basically, you've got the 4 coins. I haven't looked. The fees seem, you know, minimal or whatever. But basically, what's interesting already is you can add a embedded. You can either do a link, okay, or provide it with a link. So you add a product in, for example, and then you will have a link, and it will go to this Coinbase's website. And it's secure, and then that's where they make the payment. And then once it's paid, it's paid. Now, at the moment, the first integration they've done is with Shopify. Now, as you know, I've done Shopify before. Great platform. I haven't actually spun up an account and just tested this, but I have seen some other people test it in the last few days. And literally, it's a drop-down menu. All you do is you select Coinbase Commerce, because Coinbase already had an option in there. So now you can select Coinbase Commerce and you just put your API. You have some API keys in there, and it's very straightforward. If I do spin up another Shopify store, I might just do a quick demo of how that works. And literally, you can be taking those 4 currencies there, and you know it's great to have. A lot of the other ones, you know, have Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, but they don't have Ethereum. And the one we use on our other side at the moment doesn't take Ethereum. Okay, and there is options that do. They all are slightly different. The one I use currently is GoURL. I'm not sure if I spoke to you guys about that one before, but GoURL is a payment platform and very, very solid. The only thing it doesn't have currently, who knows if they're going to put that in the future, is Ethereum. And at the moment, like really strong with Ethereum, and it's just unfortunate that they don't have it. But it's completely open source on GitHub. It's an incredible platform. This is currently my favorite payment gateway. They've just improved the way they're doing their their actual box that you make the payment transfers from. I think this is the one they're going to do it. I'll just click on this. It might actually has a default box there. Oh yeah, this is their new one. So essentially you choose the coin, right? And it comes up with your QR code, the amount that you want to transfer. And you can actually just go copy address. Or if you have a Bitcoin wallet, we'll click on that. Or you can click that, okay? And it just says send this amount. And then it waits for the payment, okay? This is, you know, really cool. Like, pretty solid. They just don't have Ethereum. If you need Ethereum, then Coinbase is the go. The only thing with this at the moment is you either got to wait for them to bring out maybe like a WooCommerce plugin. I imagine that'll be what they do next. And then after that, who knows? But unless you get someone to custom program that for you. So at the moment, Shopify is the only one, unless you get something custom done. We've heard about LightPay. Briefly talked about LightPay at the moment. On a waiting list, can't test that out. And what else have we got here? So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that one. A new one that I've come across, actually talking to the co-founder at the moment. We're just going through. This one's still in beta, right? Notice it's still in beta. I'll give you a live demo of this one. So it comes up, basically choose, you know, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin Dash, a lot of my favorite coins here. You can choose Ethereum, right? You wait for it, loads. This is all mobile friendly as well. Then it says 15 minutes waiting. It has the locked rate. It says pay this amount. You can either click on wallet and it will open up your default wallet on the whatever system, or copy. You want to copy the actual address, or copy the amount, and then you copy and paste that into your favorite wallet, or you click scan and scan the code. And this is for the amount $10. This works really well. I'm testing it right out now on WooCommerce. Got a plug-in, and this very, very good, very cheap at the moment. You want to check this out. This is sort of the comparison Stripe, PayPal, and versus Paybear. 2-cent sending fee, so really cheap, really good. I'm liking this. PHP, Node, and Ruby with the APIs for that. So that this is good. So I like these projects where they're making it easier for people to do, you know, transactions and actually integrate it into normal sites. The more this stuff gets out there, the more those coins are going to be valued. So this is great for all those coins mentioned here and new ones that haven't come aboard. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. All right, I'll just see what you guys are saying in the live, see what we've got happening. G'day Adrian, how you doing, mate? Hey Warwick. Warwick says, can we do the giveaway with a random number? Probably not tonight. Tonight I've just spoken to you about Coinbase Commerce, Paybear, LightPay, and GURL. So yeah, make sure you pay attention, because I'll be, you know, asking a question tonight. And that will be coming up very shortly. G'day Plant Viral, how you doing? SJXL, what's up, mate? How you doing? Okay, what do we got here? So Boss Sound says there was something with Ethereum decentralizing ICOs or something. Haven't seen that. We'll try and find out some info about it. If you find something, let me know. Oh yeah, so Boss says, how do business accept Bitcoin when its value is fluctuating so much? Aren't they taking a risk if the value drops? Yes, but a lot of the services, what will happen if you buy something, say you sell something for $1,000, right? Okay, and so you sell it in Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or whatever. That moment that it's worth that value in US or whatever the currency is, okay, that's set. Now, obviously, if you still hold that and it just stays in that coin, then obviously it's going to fluctuate. If it instantaneously converts into fiat currency, there is actually providers that do that. And so it will convert from Bitcoin into that fiat currency. They will take out a fee, but you will get consistently that amount of money. It might, let's say it's 5% or something like that. They will then put that cash in your bank or whatever. So they will guarantee essentially a certain amount minus their fees. Okay, so this does exist. I I don't bother with at the moment. Like, it all depends on the way you look at it. Normal merchants probably want that, and they'll have services. There's a few services already offer that, where essentially they guarantee that the amount that is transferred is the amount that you're actually going to get converted to fiat, and they do it. And yeah, that's how some of the big ones do it. Other ones where it's just not changing to fiat, it just comes in coins, then obviously the price fluctuates. But it depends. A lot of the people that accept crypto also are trading / investing it, and are diverting those funds. Like, sure, there might be some drops, it doesn't matter. It depends on just how much of that is cost. Like, if you have to pay out a lot of fiat dollars, if it's, let's say it's hardware or physical products, and you've got to pay a lot of fiat, sure. But if you've got soft type products or where there's a lot of margin, then it makes sense to accept crypto, because you're not paying out, your costs are not very high in fiat, so you can handle that. So yeah, g'day Rommel, how you doing, mate? Awesome. So we've got a few guys on tonight. So hope you've been paying attention in the last 5 minutes, because I'm going to ask I'm just going to go to the live. Let me just bring up here. So this is a question. Let me just have a look here. So I'm going to watch the live. I'm going to ask a question now. This is worth $10 worth of Bitcoin Cash. Let me think of which one it's going to be. Suspense is killing me. All right, let me think. Just go back. I just want to check something. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go back to the live. All right, so the question is, so the first question for the Bitcoin Cash I'm going to give away now is, I talked about in the last few minutes, I talked about a couple of different things. What the first person to put the name of an upcoming ICO that raised $850 million. They're coming up very shortly. Whoever puts that name in is going to win $10 worth of Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so I will wait for you guys. The first one I see that comes through on the chat wins. So just so you know, 850 million. $850 million is how much was invested, and it's coming up an ICO. Boss Sounds. Yes, Boss Sounds, you are correct. Congratulations, it's Telegram. Very well done. So Boss Sounds, awesome job on that one, very fast. SJXL, you chose Paybear. Paybear was, they didn't raise anything yet, they're not doing an ICO, but that's okay. Paybear is a pretty cool idea, but not Telegram, who raised 850 million and are going to do an ICO. So well done, Boss Sounds. Can you put your Bitcoin Cash address in there for me, please? And what I'm going to do is send that through to you now. So that would be great. So thanks everyone for participating in that. That's awesome. And we're still going to cover a couple of things if you guys want to stick around for a little bit longer. So I'm going to wait for Boss Sounds to grab their... Excellent, they've done that already. Thank you. I'm just going to pay you now. And just let me know that you received it. It should be pretty quick. There's $10 coming your way. Thank you. Thanks for... paying attention and getting that question right. That's awesome. Thanks everyone else for trying. Excellent. Okay, so let's go back up and just check out what you guys have spoken about before. There were some of you guys were talking about the Monero fork. Yes, I did see that today. That came up. I haven't got all the details, but you know what? Oh, you got it. See how quick that is? That's awesome, boss sounds. That's great. Let's just quickly talk about Monero fork, and I did talk about previous fork, which was ZClassic and Bitcoin. Okay, and that's coming up shortly at the end of the month, and they do a snapshot, and that will go. Now let's check out. Let's have a look at the price. Where are we? Have a look. So let's have a look at the price of ZCL. Now, when I first did it, was 106. Then 4 days later, I spoke to you guys about it. It was 160. Let's see what it is right now. I haven't looked at it today. Wait for that to load. So at 168, we're still up a little bit. I actually think it went to 170. Yesterday, I think. Have a look at the last 7 days. Not even went more. Went to 190 so far. We've backed off a little bit at 166. So 180, 190. That's pretty phenomenal. When was that? Literally February the 18th. Actually, that was today. Yeah. So basically, within the last day, it's had a high of $190. Now, this still could go higher, but if you got in and around about the $100, no reason why you can't take some profits, or get some, maybe sell out of some of your position. You can either take maybe 30%. You might want to sell out that. You might want to sell out your whole position if you're not sure what's going to happen, but definitely take the gains. You might want to be, if you want to hold on for this fork, just leave some. First of all, take some profits out of that, and then leave some in there to see what happens for that fork, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen, because this has already moved. ZClassic, has had a big move. If we look at even the last month, you can see it. We're at nearly $200, and $60 there. I think we go back 3 months. You'll see how much it had a bit of a move when they did talk about the launch. We were down in the $8 range, and we've had massive gains here. So it's quite possible people that were down here that got in early before all the news happened, they could be selling off now. But we've still got another 10 days or so before that finishes up. So we could still see, I've heard some people saying maybe close to 300, 400, 500 or something like that. So we could see it still go up possibly before then. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But remember, it's better to be in a position before this kind of stuff happens. But we were lucky when I spoke to you guys about it was around about 100. So you would be up 60, 70% already. And you might want to take some profits, or you might want to sell out your position and close that off. So that was ZClassic, and that's coming up soon. We'll talk about the Monero one. Might just do a quick search. Monero fork. We'll see if we come up with something in Google on that one, because I only just saw of it today. Let's see what Steam it says. Who knows what we're going to get here. Let's see if they covered it. Okay, so this, haven't double checked this. It's called Sumo Coin, maybe. So I'd like to know. I might just go to that website, sumocoin.org. Sumocoin.org. I will check that out. Tell me if you guys have heard about that as well. I just want to make sure that we've got the right one. So Sumo Coin, because there's always dodgy stuff going on, and you never can really, you got to make sure you double check that it's all fair income. So it does look interesting. Not too much there. I wonder if I might just go to Twitter. And we'll look up Monero fork. So this is Mona fork. Monero. I'll try it. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Until I use Twitter every day. Now I do. Monero. Okay, so it's good to Google search, Twitter, check the news. I haven't really seen much news about it. Vincent, I follow Vincent. Does talk about the Monero come out with this hard fork. So I'll just double check if I can find any more info about it. Hit Monero V. Okay, this could be it. I think it's Monero V. That other one, Sumo Coin, no idea. This is what happens when you go looking for coins and you're not sure whether or not they're the genuine thing, right? Looks genuine, but it may not be. All right, what's going on here with the Brave? It's all, my goodness, it's gone off white screen. We'll get another 5 seconds and see what happens. No, Brave has died. Okay, I think we will kill off Brave. Close window. Alright, let's try Chrome. Let's go back to Twitter. I mean, these forks are worthwhile. Even if you don't participate in them, the general lead up with the fork and the amount of the news, it's good news. Like people understand that they're going to get some free coins, right? So if they're holding for long term, they're going to get some free coins, and 12 months from now they're going to have those free coins and they're going to have some sort of value, and it depends on how the project goes as to how much more value you're going to have. So why not participate? If you're trading them in terms of making profits for short-term games, a little bit more difficult, because you've got to make sure that you don't want to be holding them for too long, or miss out, or have some lose fun, lose coins on it. So let's check out Monero V. Let's have a look. Just double check to see if it's happening. Getting ready for Monero V. Okay, hearing about that a little bit. Let's go into Monero V. Okay, this looks a little bit better. So hard fork of Monero, airdrop on the 14th of March. So obviously going to be holding Monero to get this. And then you'll get this airdrop. Now, what are they going to be doing? Let's have a look. So we know that Monero is secure, scalable, and private. This is their idea. So March 18. So we're definitely going to see some stuff happening with Monero. Now, the market is going up itself. But let's have a quick look. We'll just switch back to the market on CoinMarketCap. And this is how you do a little bit of your research when you're checking out stuff. And forks are always interesting. People love. Rommel says, "Why are they calling it a fork while beef is much tastier?" That's right. Yeah, they do. The fork is, essentially people are attracted to it because they're going to get those extra coins, and people who don't have it want to purchase it. And you've seen what happens to like ZClassic when they mention that fork, just how much it's went up in value. So let's look at Monero right now, which is XMR. Let's just see it. I haven't looked at this today. So we're at 313. We're down 4%, but let's have a look in the last 7 days. So 242, to 302. So I've had some gains there. I might even bring up XMR on Bitfinex. XMR. Let's trade it against. I'll just look at USD for the moment, and then we'll have a look at it. So here's the chart. This is a daily. All right. So we've had the big run up here, and then we've seen some really good gains against Bitcoin. Let's just see how well if it's had any decent gains against Bitcoin. Yeah, I would say so. Look, we've had some. Actually, it's upward trend against Bitcoin. That's a good thing, and actually, it's been trending up since essentially November last year. This is against XMR BTC, so it's actually increasing in value against Bitcoin, which is notably a good thing. So as you can see, it's continuing up. We're getting back to nearly the new highs where it was back in July, August, September, back in the 8th, 9th there. So it's at this stage here, and it still has time. We've got this fork that's happening. So let's have a quick look back at Monero V. Okay, so the cap to 256 million. Still going to be proof of work every 120 seconds. And you'll get it via a hard fork split, which will be 14th of March. You'll receive 10 times your holdings in Monero V coins. That seems to be a thing right now where they're actually giving you 10 times the quantity of coins for holding onto that. So that's interesting. Let's have a look. Monero V, different to Monero. So the limited supply, while Monero's coin supply is infinite, and Monero V will implement new protocols to solve scaling problems. And any other cryptos such as Bitcoin. And we'll have a look at the roadmap. Will I receive it if I own Monero? Yes. So 14th, if you're an owner, you will get 10 times the amount. XMV for Victor will be the code for that one. So if you hold 1 Monero on the fork, you will then own 10 Monero V after the fork. Okay, so that could imply that, I suppose they're implying there that Monero V is maybe 1/10 the value of XMR, perhaps. I'm not sure if they're like psychologically doing that, but they're definitely giving you that 10-to-1 ratio. What do they have to offer? Okay, so they've got extra add-ons, more governance, less spam, and botnet mining. And they're also looking at doing sidechain support. When will I receive it? A few days after the fork. What exchanges will support the fork? Nothing made yet. Recommend storing your XMR locally. Okay. So you probably need to do some research. I'll see if I can find out what the best wallets to hold that, or if it's on an exchange, something like Bittrex. They normally do that. They want to be able to add those new coins as they come out. So that's interesting. We'll have to read some more on that one. Let's have a quick look at their roadmap. They've got a PDF there to have a look at. But obviously there's definitely something about the coin supply. So that's interesting because Monero, we have a look at Monero, the coin supply. So the circulating supply is just over 15 million. But maybe there is something about how it's actually created, because that's what they're talking about there. I'll have to do some more research on that and get back to you on that one there. But essentially, Monero says its infinite coin supply is a tax in the form of inflation to XMR holders. Well, that is true. If that supply is increasing, it's essentially is a form of tax. Okay, whereas Bitcoin has a maximum, for example, of 21 million, and then obviously, it's mined and those become available. So this will be interesting to see if people want to move to that, and also what kind of support they're going to have. But you know what? Monero is a great privacy coin. It's done, it's really looking good at the moment. Even if you have a quick look at that chart, look at against the US dollar, we're looking at on a daily. Okay, so you know, last year looking at, it was around the $40 and now it's 300. Went as high as like nearly $500 there USD. So definitely this is the trend with these privacy coins. So there's no reason why this fork of Monero can't gain some traction. So it'll be interesting to follow what the devs have to say on this. That will be good. All right, so yeah, we'll talk about that some more. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, and that's how we got it. So Rommel says just bought some Monero at 320 USD. Good on you, Rommel. Awesome. So I think we'll pretty much wrap it up. If there's any last minute questions at you guys, I'll just check if you've got anything else in the live chat. If you want me to cover anything, just having a look now. I'll give you another 30 seconds to put any other last minute questions if you want something answered tonight. And then I think we'll finish up, make sure we've covered everything. Okay, so good question, Boss Sounds, and it'll be my final question for tonight. What do I think of pump and dump groups? Okay, so I haven't participated in pump and dump groups, but I've done some research on them. I know some people that have been in pump and dump groups, and what will happen is essentially you join the group. Could be Telegram. Usually it's like a Telegram situation, or you'll be something like a Slack group or something like that, and you'll get a message that on a certain date and time that you're going to buy this coin, right? And essentially what happens is, I don't have an example probably to show you in the charts, but on a let's say like a 1 hour chart, you'll see this like huge spike. May not be on this particular one, probably not on Monero. Let's have a look at, I don't know, let's grab one from Binance. I'll just pick a random one here just to show you what it kind of looks like. Okay, so this is sort of like what a pump and dump looks like. See this candle here? I'm not saying this is the one because I'm not 100% sure, but see this candle here where we had this huge spike up and back down. Okay, and it was, if we could look at that a bit further, you'd find it might even only happen on a 5-minute candle. So this was like a huge, whoops. Let's have a look at. So it went up 7%, right? So here it's ranging in this order, and then all of a sudden, bang, up 7% and back down again. Okay, and this is the sort of things that you see on a pump and dump group. So what happens is they'll get in, they'll pump that up, but because it's not massive volume, the price will rise, but it will just get annihilated within the next few minutes afterwards. Okay, so that you do change the price, and it does all of a sudden look fantastic that the price has gone up and all that sort of thing. But you got to be careful, because people who do pump and dump groups, right, you thinking that you're getting in there with some sort of advantage, but you can guarantee that the people that are doing these pump and dumps, if you, first of all, you could be paying to be part of it. If you're not paying to be part of it, you're the sucker, because they're probably buying it. Here's an example. They could be buying it down here or down here, and then they wait for an opportune time and then pump it up. And while you're buying, they are selling their holdings to you, and you're the idiot that's actually buying it. So that's, you know, I would class them as pretty much scams. There could be some legitimate ones, but honestly, I don't think there's any legitimate pump and dumps from what I've seen, because either people are making money out of it, charging for the service, or if it doesn't cost anything and you're just getting signals to pump and buy coins, then you're the one buying and they're probably selling to you. You wouldn't know. So that's why I don't get into pump and dump groups. There's other groups that you can get involved with and get more value rather than a pump and dump group. I would stay away from those. So great question. I thank you for that. Alrighty, well, I think I covered most of your questions tonight. I appreciate everyone on board, and I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me. And if you have any questions, make sure you post them afterwards. For you guys that are new to the channel, all you need to do is like the channel, give us a thumbs up, and you can subscribe and also hit the bell icon. And I basically give away Bitcoin Cash. It could be in the live or it could be on the comments, depending on how I feel. So definitely put in some comments with your Bitcoin and Cash address, and also jump on live if you can and ask your questions there as well. Alrighty, I will see you tomorrow. Thanks guys, bye.